Corey Feldman.
What's my one bad movie?
Precisely.
How did I know you were going to ask that? I'm psychic.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you. I've got a long list. I got 100 movies.
Right.
They can't all be good, right? So I'd say there's probably like 10. I've got 10 bad movies.
Give me one. Lay it on me.
The worst of the worst? It's a tough call. I would say it's a toss-up.
He's such a cheese.
There might be 3. Okay, but I would say if I had to guess, my guess would always be National Lampoon's Last Resort. Wow. God, is that movie awful. Oh, it's just
shocking.
So terrible. It's so bad.
He had the cojones to name a National Lampoon title.
It's terrible.
I love it. Well, you tell me why.
Because it had a European director who had no idea about American comedy. And he was trying to make some
You're about to do a European tour soon. Are you, if you go through his hometown, bro, are you going to give him a shout out?
No. I don't even remember where he was from.
Perfect.
But this is 30 years ago or something. I don't know, 28 years ago. But the guy's name was Roman Zelensky. And
here you are delivering the comedy lines in the script.
It was way worse than that. So I rewrote the whole script.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So what happened was they gave us this script. It was funny, cute, but it wasn't there. It just wasn't there. It needed to be punched up a lot. And one of the things that I do is I kind of ghostwrite comedy. A lot of people don't know that, but I've been doing it. You know, I started writing my own improv lines in scenes all the way back in Goonies.
Right.
Goonies and Lost Boys. Like, there's a couple famous lines in Lost Boys, Stand By Me, Goonies that are like my lines that I wrote. People don't realize. So I do that. You know, I always did that with my own stuff. And then as I got older, people would ask me to kind of do it for the other scenes too. So I started doing everybody's write-ups, right? So they asked me to do a punch-up on the script. So I actually originally cast in that movie, by the way, was Charles Fleischer. Charles Fleischer was the main bad guy.
Oh, my gosh.
It was going to be me and Corey and Charles Fleischer. And we did a read-through, and it was so funny. Oh my God, it was good. So we did the rewrite. Me and the executive CEO of National Lampoon at the time was a lovely lady named Diane, and her and I would go at my house. We'd do it in offices, but we did the whole rewrite. We brought it in. We had Albert Brooks read it. I'm not Albert Brooks. I'm sorry, Charles Fleischer read it. Same hair. And it was funny. It was hysterical. We had a great day. We were all excited. And then the producers got it and they said, okay, we can't afford this. We can't afford that. We can't afford this. And they just cut the shit out of it.
Oh my God.
And by the time we got to the set, Charles quit. And literally, it was like, they told me it was like a $2 million, $2.5 million budget movie. Corey and I walked on the set. We're like,
wow.
Did they rent that from like the school next door? Like, where did they get this equipment? Because it looks like it was maybe stored in somebody's garage for the last 30 years. Like, it just was terrible. It was a sham. Like,
it was a National Lampoon nightmare.
It was not even. It was like they leased the National Lampoon title,
right?
You know what I mean?
And they might have,
and had none of the production glory of like a Vacation or Animal House or anything like that.
Sorry.
It was so ghetto. And it was like a $500,000, I would say $500,000 worth of budget production, which they were calling $2 million. And you could see very clearly was not $2 million. And Corey and I were so pissed. And it was so awful. And then to make things even worse, not only did they cut all the great stuff that we just sat there writing, because a lot of it involved expensive set deck or expensive prop pieces or, you know, sight gags. It was very airplane style humor. So there was a lot of sight gags and stuff like that. And so not only did they cut all that out, but they brought in this European director and he barely understood English.
Right.
I think he was German, but let alone, and he's like, oh, it's really funny. We must have this fish everywhere. Every scene we have this fish. We're like, what is with this fish? And he thought this like clownfish was just the funniest thing. And then he wanted cardboard cutouts for trees and cardboard cutouts for background things, which was like obvious cardboard cutouts. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what are you doing right now? So he's taking like a broad American comedy and trying to turn it into like this art.
I had
funky,
a similar situation.
And you're just like, no, everything is wrong. It was so bad. Oh God.
Were the accommodations even reasonable?
I didn't care about that. Listen, to me, it's about the work.
I want to be able to go to the bathroom, though. Did you have a trailer to go to the bathroom?
I don't know. I'm sure that was all fine. It was about the work.
Right.
If I'm not getting the value out of the work, what is the point of being there? That's me. I mean, I'm an artist.
That used to be me. I
care about the art.
Now I just need a nice toilet.
Well, there you go.
There
you go. This is why, we make less movies these days. But, you don't find a nice toilet. I don't find the nice, setups.
Storyline.
No, it's got to work. So the bottom line is the movie was a disaster and still a cult hit. I mean, I guess people still watch it, but it's not great. So there's that one. And then the other one on the toss-up would have been the directing debut that I did also with Corey Haim, unfortunately, but and I say unfortunately because he wasn't in it much. We just kept a few scenes with him because they made me, because he basically, he had to not do the movie because he was having problems, dealing with life at the time, and he didn't want to work. And not only that, but we kind of decided together to put a certain individual in it that he had second thoughts later about putting in it. So he kind of regretted his decision, and then was like, well, why is he here? And it was like, well, because you told me to bring him here, and that was just bad. And so he didn't want to come to work. And after he didn't come to work, I had to fire him, and it was really ugly. So it was a whole bad situation.
Wow.
It's called Busted. And I directed the movie, but then it was the whole point. Again, they gave me a script. It was really terrible. They said, we're going to shoot it on a $250,000 budget. We need it shot in 11 days. And I was like, what? They're like, but we have all the sets. So we provide all the sets, all the costumes. We've got everything in house. We just need you to come make a movie. Because basically we wrote a script for the sets.
Oh.
We have the sets here. We wrote a script to fit in the sets. And I'm like, I can make that work. So I went and pulled all these favors. They said, here's the deal, though. If you can get because I said, I can get everybody in this. I can write a brilliant broad comedy. I'll get everybody to kind of like you with the big ideas, IMAX. So it was IMAX. But it was, we're going to do this. We're going to get all the big stars. I'm going to get Adam Sandler and Whoopi Goldberg and all my friends. I'm going to get everybody in on this. And they were like, you can really do that? And I'm like, yeah, I can really do that. They're like, all right, you go do it. And based on who you bring to the table, we'll increase the budget for each celebrity you bring in. So you bring in Adam Sandler, 100,000. You bring in another one, 100,000. We'll just keep adding 100,000 for every big name you bring to the table.
Right.
I was like, great. And then they're like, but I said, but to do this, we're probably not going to be able to shoot it right away. Based on celebrity schedules, we might have to push back a little bit because we're 10 days away from shooting.
Right.
And so I'm calling around. Adam Sandler says, yes, I'll do it. I'll do the cameo, but I'm not available till September. Whoopi Goldberg, yeah, I'll do it, but I'm not available till October.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do it. I got all these different people saying yes, but they're saying yes based on, whenever their schedule allows. So I'm like, guys, here's the deal. I got all the yeses, but we have to do it now. I mean, can we just push things back, add to the budget, make it a bigger movie, and really deliver something that's going to make you guys proud? We can really make this funny. And it was like a Naked Gun kind of vibe. It was a dirtier, raunchier Naked Gun with TNA.
I love it.
And I was making fun of B movies. The whole thing was I took this script and I made it really funny, making fun of these movies that we hate so much, with the gratuitous nudity and the gratuitous sex humor and all this stuff. And it was really landing on its face. And it was so funny. The script was so funny. I was so proud of it. I'm like, just give me a month to shoot this. Let's do it in 3 months. Let's do it right. I'll get all these people. And the company was like, no, sorry. I told you had to have these names by Friday or whatever. You don't have it by Friday. So who have you got, right now that's ready to shoot? I'm like, Corey Haim, Elliot Gould, Todd Bridges, Rance Howard. I mean, I had some good people attached.
I love it.
And Nicole Smith was supposed to be in it. All these people. So I had a pretty good cast as it was, but I'm like, if you could give me another couple, I can get through it. No, that's it. We're cutting you off right there. And by the way, even though you've got all those names, we're sticking to the original budget. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now you just ate up all my budget with all these big names. And what? So, yeah. That was that. And
sounds like one bad movie, bro.
Yeah. And, wait, it gets better because we had to shoot the whole thing in 12 days. So we shoot all the footage. I somehow pull it off, and it's still going to be funny. And I'm in the editing room, and there's still salvation for this movie. I can make it work. It's going to be funny. but I need to do graphics. I need to do titles. I need to do sound effects. I need to do colorization. I need to do all the post-production stuff.
Yes.
And so we're sitting there in post, and I'm telling the editor, I'm like cutting the cuts, and I'm like, this is going to be really funny. And the first cut's really funny. And then all of a sudden the editor calls me one day, goes, hey, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks to Hawaii. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'll hit you up when I'm back. Okay, cool. No problem. I don't hear from him. 3 weeks later, I get a call from the executive producer who says, hey, we need you to come in for ADR. I said, for what? For your movie. We need you to come in for ADR. I said, what are you talking about? We're halfway through the edit. Oh, no. We finished that. What? Yeah, we finished it.
And you're the director.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the executive producer came down to the cutting room and he saw that the movie was making fun of himself.
Oh, wow.
Because we're making fun of those kinds of movies. But they didn't get it because those are the kind of movies they make.
Right.
So they were very insulted, very kind of offended by what I was doing because it was way too highbrow for what they were thinking.
Right.
And they said, nope,
you're out.
Let's add in some fart noises. Let's add in all that extra TNA that was supposed to be shot for comedy, but let's make it as if it wasn't shot for comedy.
Right.
And play it real.
Right.
So they took all the gratuitous stuff and they added it like it was any one of their normal TNA movies. And they took out all the really funny, witty stuff and they just made it this schlocky, terrible, disgusting. I wanted my name off it so bad.
Oh my God.
So bad.
Did you try to get it off?
Of course.
That's so
I tried
funny.
to Alan, what's it called? Alan Ritchie or Alan?
Alan Rudolph?
No.
Is that it?
Smithee, yeah. I tried to Alan Smithee it.
Oh, Alan Smithee, correct.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let me do it.
So your one bad movie, Corey Feldman, is actually your Alan Smithee.
That's it.
Wow.
Guilty pleasures misunderstood. It's so bad it's good. One